For all this talk about what COVID-19 is doing to our economy, it has also highlighted deeper ongoing issues when it comes to the income gap and wealth gap. Our editor-in-chief, Andy Serwer, is joining us now for this. Good morning, Andy. I saw your piece that hit our website over the weekend about this topic. What is driving this, and how can we fix it?
Well, income inequality and wealth inequality have been a problem for this country for decades, really since the 1970s, Alexis, and getting worse. A lot of reasons for that. Tax cuts, the increase in technology, getting jobs, making those jobs disappear, offshoring for sure, deregulation of financial services, more income coming from capital gains than from labor over the decades as well. And even when the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates during financial crisis, that benefits wealthier people rather than working class people, because wealthy people own stocks and they benefit in an outsized way there. But this coronavirus situation has made things even worse, because it means that the typical essential worker, we used to call them hourly workers, now they're essential workers, are now in harm's way. So not only are they making less money, and by the way, someone making minimum wage is making 30% less now than they did in 1968, 30% less. It's shocking. And now they're in harm's way as well. So a really difficult situation. And, you got to hope that we can kind of recognize this going forward and do something about it.
Andy, in your story, you talked to the chief economist of the AFL-CIO, and you bring up a very good point. And he also brought up a good point that the Fed might be a large part of the problem here with this wage gap.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. And I think it's inadvertent in terms of the Fed. I mean, they're just doing what they can. But, cutting interest rates, if you talk to economists across the board, liberal and conservative, they'll tell you is a good fix when the economy is in trouble. But it's also kind of an easy fix, isn't it? I mean, it increases liquidity. It makes sure the mechanisms of the economy are working and all that. But as I said earlier, it does benefit to a disproportionate sense wealthy people over poor people, number one. But number two, it's also kind of an easy fix when we need more structural work on the economy in terms of, say, infrastructure projects. That gets cast aside because, we'll just cut rates.
Hey, Andy, I want to get your take on your favorite football team, Washington Redskins. We can't call them that anymore because they have officially dropped that name. They are changing their logo. Some are saying, what took so long? What are your thoughts as a fan?
Well, money talks, I guess, and that's just the way it is. For a long time, there have been protests about this name for decades. And the owner of the team, Dan Snyder, had resisted and, in fact, said, we will never change the name of the team. And he said to a reporter, you can put never in all caps. Always love that little bit to this whole debate. You can put it in all caps because we're never going to change it. Well, of course, once Federal Express, which is a key owner, and Fred Smith, the CEO, in the team, decided that this was not going to stand anymore. Now the Redskins have finally made the move. I guess that's the way things always are, that people do things for different reasons, but I think it's a good thing. And now we're just going to have to wait and see what the name of the team is, Alexis.
Yeah, they're talking about Red Tail or Red Wolves. I guess that would allow them to keep their hashtag, right, which is HTTR. What do you think about those names?
Well, the Red Wolves I kind of like because the red wolf is a somewhat local species that has been resurgent. I know in the Middle Atlantic region, reintroduced in North Carolina, I believe. I'm not so up on my wolfology, but I believe that is to be the case. Look it up. So that's fine. And, it's kind of a, innocent enough name. Without my idea, the All-Americans, I guess, is maybe too political for those guys at this point. So I understand that. We'll just have to see. I don't know about the Red Tails. I don't know if that works for me.
All right, we shall see. We'll ask you to weigh in when they make their announcement. Andy Serwer, thank you.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.